Thomas Joseph Capano was a disbarred American lawyer and former Delaware Deputy Attorney General who was convicted of the 1996 murder of Anne Marie Fahey, his former lover. Capano was one of 4 brothers and belonged to a prominent family of Delaware real estate developers and building contractors. He became a wealthy, well-connected lawyer, state prosecutor, Wilmington city attorney, legal counsel to Governor Mike Castle, and political consultant, well known in Delaware's political community. In 1994, Capano was a partner at the Wilmington office of Saul Ewing LLP when he became involved with 28-year-old Anne Marie Fahey, the appointment secretary to then-Governor Tom Carper. Married with 4 daughters, Thomas Capano separated from his wife Kay the following year. Anne Marie Fahey, the scheduling secretary for Governor Carper, became involved with the married Capano in 1994. In September 1995, while still involved with Capano, Fahey began another relationship with Michael Scanlon. She was last seen alive on Thursday, June 27, 1996, when she went to dinner with Capano in Philadelphia. Fahey's family reported her missing on June 30, 1996. After an extensive investigation into her disappearance, the FBI joined in the investigation in July 1996, and a federal grand jury heard evidence for over a year. Capano, the last known person to have seen her alive, was the primary suspect. Capano was arrested for her murder in November 1997, over 16 months after her disappearance. However, Fahey's body was never found, and prosecutors were unable to establish the cause or manner of Fahey's death. Prosecutors alleged that Capano murdered Fahey at the house he rented, and with the assistance of his brother Gary, dumped her body in the sea. Gary Capano owned a boat, and when it was sold, its 2 anchors were missing. On November 8, 1997, Gary was interviewed by detectives and told them that Thomas had borrowed the boat and admitted that he had murdered someone who was attempting to extort him. They went to Stone Harbor, New Jersey, with a large cooler that contained Fahey's body. They sailed 62 miles out to sea and pushed the cooler overboard. Gary told police that Thomas shot the cooler in order to sink it, but that the cooler remained afloat in the water. Thomas then retrieved the cooler, removed the body, and wrapped the anchor chains around it. Thomas also asked Gary to help dispose of a blood-stained sofa and carpet into a dumpster, which was managed by a 3rd brother, Lewis. Thomas instructed Lewis to empty the dumpsters outside of their regular schedule. The empty cooler was found on July 4, 1996, by a local fisherman. Investigators did not have a murder weapon or body, nor any evidence that Capano had purchased a gun. However, Capano's other mistress, Debbie McIntyre, had bought a gun and admitted having supplied the weapon to Capano. The highly publicized case went to trial on October 26, 1998, and lasted 12 weeks. The defense claimed that McIntyre had burst into Capano's room and in a jealous rage upon seeing Capano and Fahey engaged in intimacy, had threatened to shoot herself. As Capano and McIntyre were wrestling for the gun, it fired, killing Fahey. On January 17, 1999, the jury convicted Capano of first-degree murder and he was sentenced to death by lethal injection. In January 2006, the Delaware Supreme Court affirmed Capano's conviction, but remanded the case for sentencing because the death penalty was imposed by a non-unanimous jury verdict. In February of that year, the state abandoned its efforts to seek capital punishment, opting to leave Capano imprisoned for life without parole. In April 2008, the U.S. District Court rejected Capano's habeas corpus petition, and on September 2, 2008, the U.S. Third Circuit Court of Appeals affirmed Capano did not appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court, bringing an end to his appeals. Capano, age 61, was found dead in his jail cell at 12:34 p.m. on September 19, 2011, by an officer performing a routine security check at the James T. Vaughn Correctional Center State Prison near Smyrna, Delaware. The medical examiner said Capano died of a sudden cardiac arrest. He also had atherosclerotic and hypertensive cardiovascular disease, and that obesity was a contributing factor in his death. Following his death, his brothers Louis and Joseph engaged in a bitter court fight over their family's multi-million-dollar real estate empire.